have a look at this video.
What's your problem? What's your problem? Is that I asked you politely if you was like not disturbing my trying to eat. Did you see them and you just sort of push it right back? Cool.
That goes on for a very long
Yeah,
time.
does.
It was a long flight, 2 hours in fact. Wendi Williams filmed that footage on a flight from New Orleans to North Carolina after she'd reclined her seat.
Well, the video has been viewed over 3 million times and has gone viral, prompting an etiquette debate about whether it is ever OK to recline your seat.
Well, Wendi joins us now from Virginia. Hi, Wendi.
Good morning,
Thank you very much
Wendi.
indeed for getting up so early to talk to us.
Hello.
So you boarded the flight.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. It's a fascinating story and it has gone viral around the world. So you boarded the flight, sat in your
Yes.
seat, picked the story up from there.
Okay, so we achieved, maximum elevation in the air. We ascended to where you were allowed to recline your seats. So I did recline my seat. I didn't know that this was a hot button issue, that this, no pun intended, that there was this much controversy around it. So, I reclined and the man behind me said, would you mind, or not, he didn't say, would you mind? He basically said, would you put your seat up while I eat? And of course, I obliged. And then about 10 minutes later, and this was stuff that he brought on the plane. It wasn't a meal served on the plane. So I obliged. I did exactly as he asked. And when he was done, I reclined again. At which point, there was no conversation. He just started punching, not what you see in the video, but full on punching to where I was flying forward. And I was trying to get the flight attendants' attention. I couldn't get their attention. So all I could think to do was film him.
Why didn't you put your seat
I
back
thought
up
that
again?
would stop him completely. Pardon me?
Why didn't you put your seat back up again?
At that point, I was in shock. I mean, it wasn't even something that I thought about. I just wanted him to stop.
It was like it
And
looks
he had hit me.
because he then stopped punching and he's doing. We're watching the video now where he's just sort of pushing the back of the chair, pushing.
Right.
And so this looks like
Right.
it ended up being a battle of wills here.
Oh, I don't think it was a battle of wills. I think it wasn't. That wasn't my intent. It was simply, I have neck problems, spine problems, and that's why I recline my seat.
Mm-hmm.
But at the point, you have to imagine being in my seat, being in my shoes. After somebody communicated their needs to you and you obliged, and then you reclined again, and then you have to imagine being punched over and over and over again. And then my only recourse being thinking that I'm going to video him and he's going to stop.
I mean,
like most normal people would stop.
But he didn't. Even videoing him didn't stop him.
No, it didn't. And it stopped it to a certain degree. It definitely lessened what he was doing originally, but it definitely, it wasn't a good situation, let's put it that way. And then as I was recording him, I was trying to get the flight attendants' attention at the same time without screaming or yelling. And they kind of gave me one of these, like, hold on. And so the video goes on for 6.5 minutes. And then when the flight attendant finally did come over, 6.5 minutes later, she was like, what, or can I help you? But it was her tone was very, like, with an eye roll.
Well, she was quite
And
unsympathetic.
I said the man behind me.
The part of the reason for that, I think, maybe was because she was looking at the seating arrangement of the plane. He was right at the back of the plane, so even if he wanted to, he couldn't recline his seat. So your seat was sort of just coming into his space. And as you said, there's a recline button on that seating, so you're within your rights to do whatever you like. She then gave you a passenger disturbance notice. Now, these are letters that are given to people thought to be breaking the in-flight rules. And if you do this, you're at risk of breaking US federal law. And the note read, you should immediately cease your behaviour if you wish to avoid prosecution and your removal from this airline at the point of your next arrival. So your issue is, you're sitting there, he's the one who's banging your seat. Who should have got that notice, him or you?
Him, 100%. But it was very clear from the moment that I got her attention, she was on his side. I didn't raise my voice. I did nothing. The video ends and you see me or you hear me saying, the man behind me is repeatedly and purposefully hitting me. And her reaction to that was like another eye roll, and then going back to him, changing personalities and saying, oh, it is tight back here, I'm sorry. And I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? Like, is this, anyway, and then she told me delete the video. And at that point I hadn't, and then they did drink service, and the other, excuse me, the other flight attendant was the one that asked me what I wanted, and Loretta, the one that I found out later, that was her name, asked the man behind me, would you like a rum with that? Would that make your day better? And at that point, I just thought, what is this? Am I in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I asked her, is that your policy or is that American Airlines policy?
Well, I know that
the person who's been assaulting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean,
a free drink. Add alcohol into the mix.
Yeah. This is now. Thank you, Wendi. Thank you for telling us this story, because this is now become legal. I think potentially legal. American Airlines said, we are aware of a customer dispute. The safety and comfort of our customers and team members is our top priority. Not that that answers anything really. And our team is looking into this issue. And so thank you, Wendi, for bringing this up, because we would want to ask.
That's what I've been getting, and thank you. I want to ask people, did I look comfortable or safe?
Yeah, absolutely.
On that flight.
And that's what we're going to ask now. We'll ask
on
social media. We want to know, hear from you. What are your experiences? Do you think because you've got a recline button, you shouldn't be allowed to
should just
press
disable
the
the recline buttons?
Yeah. So what do you think? Would you have reclined? What did you think of the guy behind who punched her seat?